Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life with Anita. So today is going to be about conversations with your friends and just people who really genuinely care about you, and some things that I have decided to change and some things I had a chance to reflect on today. So today I had a chance to talk to one of my exes on the phone, and I have known him ever since I was about 15 years old. He's just one of the exes that I've known since I was a teenager, because a lot of my exes that I have been with, I have grown up with them. You know, we grew up as kids together into adults. And so one of them, I talked to him earlier today, and you know how you can try to play stuff off like you're okay and everything's fine. And, you know, you're just like, hey, okay, cool. I'm good. You know, life's been whatever it is. And because he is such a good friend and he's also my ex, he knows me extremely well. He's just one of the many people who know me well. Like my family and my close friends and like my exes that I've grown up with, they know me very well. You know, they know who I am. They know if something's wrong. They know when I'm okay. They just know that because they genuinely love me and care about me. So I was talking to him on the phone. And I was like, hey, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing this, doing that. He was like, whoa. He was like, He's talked to me. He said, tell me what's going on. Tell me everything. So I decided to disclose to him the situation that just happened with me and D number 2. And he was like, oh my God. And then he said, hold on for a second. And I was like, okay. So I'm thinking that he's holding on because he got a call. He's holding on because he's going through his archives on his phone. He has kept every time that I have had to call him because D number 2 has abused me, and I felt afraid and I was scared and I needed to vent, and I kept telling him I was going to leave D number 2. And he was reading to me verbatim all my messages. And he was like, I got all these pictures of when he would hit you. And I got these pictures of stuff that was happening. And I got these messages of stuff that was happening. He was like, back to this date of this year. He was like, this is years of this person abusing you, Anita. He said, I save it because if something ever happens, I can go right into my phone and show that there's a history of him abusing you for years that your friends have had to hear about, your family and everybody else. And I just broke down in tears, right? Because I was like, to know that you're close friends, right? And this is not the only person that has stuff like this in their phone of all the times that I have been abused by D number 2. Now, I will make a disclaimer. I don't care who listens to my podcast. If you listen to it and you are for any reason on team D number 2 and you are just going off of what you think you know about him, I really at this point could care less, because I know what I have honestly 100% truthfully went through and suffered at the hands of D number 2 that I should not have. And so nobody's going to tell me how to tell my story of what I went through when nobody else was there but me and him. So I'll make a very big disclaimer to say I tell 100% of the truth of what happened to me. I have no reason to make up stories on people. People are not that relevant in life. People are not that important. So, you know, as they say, the enablers of an abuser, the enablers of somebody who is narcissistic like D number 2, they will say, oh, it's two sides to a story, or you don't know what else happened. See, nothing else happened. I've never struck D number 2 and then he hit me back. It's always been if we are having a disagreement, or he's out cheating, or he's doing something he should not be doing, he then erupts chaos behind closed doors between me and him, and he creates such a hostile, dangerous environment where he then says I allegedly provoke him to hit me by just talking. Now, I'm not talking all in his face. I don't jump in D number 2 face and be like, hey. No, it's not like that. If we are having a disagreement and normally he's hiding a secret life and a lot of things that he's doing and he's being sneaky and deceptive, it will make him erupt and attack me. For some reason, D number 2 targets me to do bad to. So even if I'm not doing anything bad to him, he just can't help himself because he's always after me to do bad to me. But then he will still turn around and ask me for help, ask me to do things for him, ask me to sleep with him, ask me to be there for him, tell me he loved me and it's us and no matter what. It's for me. And this is solely my opinion. I believe D number 2 is a narcissistic psychopath. Now, I have a right to feel that way because this man has abused me and lied about it for years. He has made things look a certain way that they are not that way at all, to make me seem like the out of control, unhinged, crazy person that's just after him. Like, let's just lay it all out. What would I have to gain from D number 2? Okay? D number 2 has no money I want access to. D number 2 has no assets I want access to. What do I gain by making up stories about him abusing me? You see how a psychopath would make you feel like, oh, I'm just this crazy lady who's just making up all this stuff and it's just, oh gosh, he's just the greatest guy. See, when people are not behind closed doors with you, when people don't know what that's like for a man to raise his hand and hit you, or a few weeks ago when D number 2 choked me repeatedly and threw me to the ground and he sat on top of me and I felt like I couldn't breathe. See, nobody knows those things. So when people try to enable his behavior and say, oh, he's the good guy because he doesn't do that around us. Of course, he's not going to sit around and attack you. He's not going to do anything to you because you are the people that he's using. You are the person that he's using. You're the person he's trying to seek something from. You're the person that he's trying to manipulate for something. You know, you're just the added supply to the narcissistic personality disorder problem that he has. A narcissist does not know how to be with just one person. It's always somebody on the side. It's always some nonsense going on. D number 2 strives for chaos. He likes chaos because he thinks he's like this ladies' man. D number 2 thinks he's like this weird God's gift to women, when actually he is a very abusive, narcissistic, manipulative, using person. He has told me several times how he has went out and purposely used other women that they didn't mean nothing to him, that he loved me. He just used the woman for something, but now he's back, right? So when you have a man that will talk to you like that, something's wrong. And unfortunately, because I trauma bonded to D number 2 so much and became, not knowingly at first, unfortunately, I became codependent and trauma bonded to D number 2 because of the substantial amount of abuse in so many different ways. And I had never experienced anybody abusing me to the extent that D number 2 has. So it was a lot for me. Like right now, it's been 2 weeks since D number 2 has physically hit me, right? And I still, when I think about what happened, I cry. When I think about the things that transpired, I still cry. I can't sleep at night. I go through a lot of stuff. So when people say that they don't believe what I'm talking about, and I'm the person here traumatized and crying and going through hell trying to recover from somebody that for the last few years have spent so much time just hurting me for no reason. Mind you, I have been very good to D number 2, right? Before I married him, while I was married to him, and even after I divorced him, I was very good to him. And that wasn't enough to stop him from putting his hands on me, right? And I remember when he choked me a few weeks ago, before this incident happened before Father's Day. Before that, there was another incident weeks before that where he choked me and threw me to the ground and grabbed me by the hair. And he was just like manhandling me like I was just a rag doll, right? And I remember I was like, you know what? I was like, D number 2, I was like, I'm sick of this. I was like, why did you choke me and do all that? I was like, I'm not going to take this no more. And he was like, well, if you call the police, I'm going to tell them that we just was having sex and I choked you. That's how you got marks around your neck. Anybody who premeditates their lie to get away with abusing you is a psychopath. That's not normal behavior for a human being, right? When he records videos of me half naked, telling me that he's gonna send them to my kids and I better do this or I better do that, or he'll show this and show that. See, when somebody is premeditating how to abuse you in several ways, or they feel like they're gonna do things to hold things over your head so that you can't talk about the abuse, that is a psychopath. That is a typical abuser response to a victim wanting to talk about what's happening. And I'm a very vocal person, as you guys all know. So if something is happening to me, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to hold it in. I believe in talking about stuff. The problem that I ran into with D number 2 is, for so many years, I would go to the police, tell the police the honest to God truth. They would not believe me. They would think it was a game. They let D number 2 lie and say, oh, she's just lying and she's crazy and I don't know why she would say that. And I can't wait until the day comes where all the officers who did not take action and do something when it came to D number 2 abusing me, I really hope that the truth is finally out about just what I truly went through, right? And as I got, and I'll go back to when I was talking to my friend and my ex today. As I got off the phone with him today, he opened my eyes to so much. He's like, Anita, for years you keep trying to leave him, right? He know you got a good heart. He knows that you're kind. He know that you're loving and you try to see the good in people. So he manipulates that to get you back around him so that he can abuse you more. He said, Anita, you got to wake up this time. You can't keep doing that. He said, I have not even been in a relationship with you in umpteen years. He said, but I've watched this man traumatize you. I've watched him abuse you for years. And I'm saving this stuff in my phone from all these years of the terror that this man has rained on you when he should not have. Right? So basically, in so many words, my ex and my friend now, he was basically telling me, like, you got to wake up because you keep telling us you're going to leave D number 2. And then you get away from him. Something happens that he lie, he lure you in, he manipulates you, and he knows that you kind. And then you forgive him, and then he gets near you again to bite you again. So for me, D number 2 is like a dangerous snake, right? And unfortunately, because I am a good-hearted person and I'm very kind, and he plays on that a lot, it's like a snake constantly slithering over to bite you. And I have to take accountability myself because I've been so stupid of being kind, being forgiving, trying to turn the other cheek, and then it has gotten me, unfortunately, abused substantially by D number 2. Now, I will tell you what I find so alarming, right? So, in case you guys don't know, D number 2 has subscribed now to my podcast. And every time I post an episode, right, he would always call me and say, I can't believe you said that on your dumb podcast. Why would you say this? Why would you say that? I can't believe you said this on your podcast. And why did you tell people that, right? Now listen, this is my podcast, my platform. Somebody who abused me cannot tell me what I can talk about and what I can't talk about, right? They don't have a right to do that. So I just hope that stops. And this is a message to D number 2. D number 2, you have done what you have done to me. And I don't care who you lied to about what has happened. I know what happened to me. It makes me cry at night. It makes me have nervous breakdowns. It hurts what you have done. So I don't care how much you listen to my podcast. I don't care how much you tell people that I'm lying. I know what happened. And because you don't have any remorse for what you've done, that's something you and God got to deal with. But I know that I have told not one lie about the trauma, the abuse and the terrifying effect it has had on me after what you've done to me. And you can sit wherever you are and laugh and talk to somebody else and tell them I'm just this crazy lady and that I'm lying, but I know that's not the truth. So may God have some kind of mercy on your soul for being a liar and an abuser to me when I have been nothing but good to you, D number 2. And to my friend and my ex today that I had a chance to talk to on the phone, thank you. Because for him to unarchive all that stuff showing how long the abuse has been going on with D number 2, it made me say, you can't keep being that stupid. Because clearly D number 2 is only around to ruin you and hurt you and traumatize you. So as of today, July 2nd, 2024, I am going permanent no contact with D number 2. I am permanently disbanding him out of my life. I want nothing else to do with D number 2. I don't want any parts of him in my life. I am not going to rush my healing from what he has done again. I'm not going to rush forgiving him. I am going to sit here and deal with this as I choose to, as a true victim of domestic violence because of D number 2. So, thank you guys for tuning in to my podcast today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and you learned a lot. But look at the people who truly love you and care for you. They will tell you what you need to know to open your eyes, to wake yourself up, to see that you need to change. And today, one of my friends who happened to be one of my exes, he really opened my eyes up today over the phone and said, you gotta keep yourself out of that. Because every time you go back, he does something worse. That tells you what he feels. That tells you what he's capable of. And I'm sick of being a victim of D number 2s. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to live a happy, peaceful life where I'm not abused, I'm not lied to, I'm not cheated on, I'm not hurt, I'm not crying, I'm not waking up having nightmares, I'm not going through the motions because a man does not know how to stop traumatizing and abusing me because he feels like I'm the weakest one that he can do it to. Thank you guys for tuning in to Life with Anita. Have a great day.